is I'm what I call slow rolling a rattle trap. Now, what I mean by slow rolling is I'll take the rattle and vibe and I'll usually put it like on 15 to 17 pound test Seaguar and Vizex line, some type of a medium action bait cast rod, and I'll cast it out, and I'm usually casting it into about 4 or 5 foot of water this time of year, late winter, early spring. I let the rattle and vibe hit the bottom. Now, occasionally you might get hung up, but not very often. Just get you a plug knocker. You're not going to lose hardly any of them. But cast it out there and let it go to the bottom. And then snap it off the bottom like that. And then just start slow rolling it along the bottom. Just almost like, just like a slow retrieve like that. And occasionally pop it up like that. So slow retrieve like that. After you cranked it probably 8 or 10 times, the bait's going to want to come up. So make sure that you let it drop back down and hit the bottom. Snap it up a little bit, let it hit the bottom. But the goal is you do not want the rattle and vibe to get over about a foot off the bottom. You want to keep it really, really close to the bottom. And you want to work it the best way I can describe it, guys, is you want to work the bait about as slow as you can without it getting hung up or staying on the bottom. You want to keep it moving, but you want to keep it slow, and you want to like pull it and twitch it a little bit and pop it up. That's why I call it slow rolling. Most lipless crankbaits are reeling straight through the water column, but with the rattle and vibe, you're staying on the bottom and you're hopping it up. And when you hop it up, when you pop it like that, it rattles real hard up, and then it sort of gradually goes down like that. And guys, those big ones in the late winter time and the early spring will hammer this thing. Now, it has got some parameters to it. This is what you want to remember. This is going to work the best when those water temperatures are between like 48 and 55 degrees. That is the window for this type of technique to work. The next thing that you want to look at is you want to fish these things on some type of staging area, and normally a little bit flatter type bank. So some of my favorite places to fish them on are like points leading into a spawning cove, or maybe a spawning cove, the first 1/3 part of a spawning cove. So let's say, for example, you've got a cove that goes way back in there, and the back of the cove has got some flat, gravelly type rocky banks and good shallow water. Get out there towards the mouth of those coves and fish the point, maybe like 50 or 75 yards down the main lake side of that point, and 50 or 75 yards into the point. Just sort of those staging areas being the point and the areas leading in and out of that point. This is where those bigger fish are going to set up that time of year. And normally for this technique to work, I like the water visibility to be anywhere between, say, 1.5 to 3 foot is perfect water visibility for this. If you get less than a